I'm going to be using these wood slices today to show you some easy little Easter pieces you can make to stick in with your existing decor. I have this printable that I got from Google. I can't remember the exact website, I'm sorry, but if you are a subscription member, you can find those in our Easter folder. I did try to do a quick search to see if I could figure out real quick where they came from, but it didn't come up, so I'll keep trying. But I just printed them out on some rice paper, cut them out, and I am applying some Mod Podge to the top of my wood slices, and then I'm going to press them on. I'm just kind of centering them up a little bit or putting them in the position where the most important parts are going to be seen. And you can see here that these are a little bit more repositional than like your napkins. Once it's dried, you can't pick it up, but you can move them around a little bit. And then I'm using my stiff brush to just kind of pounce it down into the wood and make it look like a little more blended in. Then I'm going to use my heat tool to let that dry really well. And I'm going to use my mini sander to go around the edges of those paper, kind of feathering those edges and pulling away any extra pieces that I don't really want on there, and just kind of sanding it overall so that it blends in. I want it to look like it was kind of impressed upon the wood. And you can kind of see the difference here from the before and after of sanding those edges. And here's them both sanded. Then I'm going to use this antique linen distress ink. It's a really light color ink. I just want to go around those edges and try to also blend them in a little bit better. And if there's any pieces of really white paper showing through, you can kind of tone that down. It just kind of looks almost like the color of the wood slice, so it helps blend it in really well. I'm going to make sure that's dry because when I add this Mod Podge, I don't want it to smear a whole lot. I'm adding that Mod Podge onto the top layer to seal it in, and also it's just going to help with any extra distressing that you might want to do. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my heat gun here to dry it because I feel like it just shrinks it up really nice. Then I'm going to be using this white wax by Folk Art. It's just going to kind of give it a soft sheen over the top and help it look a little bit more blended in as well. And you can see that it just kind of gives it a soft, balanced look. Next, I'm going to use my two longer slices to make a couple of carrots. I am cutting out some of this neutral cardstock that I got from a book from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to start by gluing those little oval pieces onto the top of the slice. You can just kind of trim them up how you need them. They don't have to be perfect. I'm also going to be using my little sander to kind of work around the edges and over the top as well. I'm going to give it a layer of Mod Podge on top of that wood slice and then press those papers down onto it. I tried to go a little neutral here, but then I realized it was going to need a little bit more to make it look more like a carrot, so you'll see that later. And here I'm just working on those edges, like I said, kind of feathering them in, scuffing up the top a little bit, just making it look kind of rustic and distressed. And then I'm going to go around that with my distressing ink as well, just to kind of blend in those white spaces and shade and shadow those edges a little bit. Just kind of helps blend it in so you don't have those just solid lines and edges. Kind of using my blending brush, and then if you want a little bit heavier layer, you can use the pad and just rub it directly on your piece. Then I am covering that up with a little bit of Mod Podge. And now I'm going to experiment a little bit with these, so bear with me as I just try out a few different layers and techniques, but I went over them with some of that white wax. Then I'm going to mix together some of this orange paint and white paint. I want it to be kind of a lighter orange, and I'm just dry brushing that on so that it gives it a little bit of an orange hue, and then I'm wiping back kind of some of the extra, just kind of playing around with it until I get shaded just the way that I want it. Then I'm just going to take some of this greenery that I have from Hobby Lobby that kind of looks like carrot tops, and I'm sticking it into some holes that I drilled into the top of those wood slices. And I'm just going to kind of bunch it and gather it together and glue pieces on so that it looks kind of like a carrot top. And I did the same to both pieces, and here's how they turned out. I think they look a lot more like carrots now. I really love just kind of rustic, natural looking pieces, and I hope that you like this set. Thanks for watching my video today, and I hope it inspired you to get a little crafty. Have a blessed day.